Another player, you probably heard of the news that Carson had an injury yesterday. Right now, as it stands, as of today, they're saying I think it's a PCL strain. I think basically it's a knee strain.
Okay.
They don't know the severity of it.
Okay.
As of right now, I think Coach Carroll's gonna come out a little bit later on today and talk about it and stuff like that. But we know that it is a strain, so he could potentially miss. Let's just say if he only misses a game, Carlos Hyde is the second up, the back right behind Carson. And guys, we know what Carlos has been in the past, even last year, even within that Texas offense. You know, he had 1,000 yards. So you put a guy who's got talent, who's a pass-catching back, within this Russell Wilson offense, along with the weapons, the passing weapons around him. He's going to be playing against light boxes. Carlos Hyde, he's a go.
He is, guys. And like I said, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video, by the way, too, before we get it. But I'm sorry, Mac, I didn't mean to.
No,
go ahead.
That's fine. But definitely, Carlos Hyde, in my opinion, I think is probably one of, if not the number one waiver wire target this week, especially as of airing of this tape now. But if it comes out later that they say that worst case scenario, if Carson misses like 4 or 5 games,
which is reasonable because they want him to come back fully healthy. With the way Russell's playing,
oh yeah,
they don't got to force this guy back. And it's a different offense. It's not a bell cow running back anymore. It's actually they playing through Russell Wilson's arm, and they should have been playing this way. But that's why I love Pete Carroll, guys. Pete Carroll, he's basically a guy that he sees outside the box. So he's not going to frame his team in every year to do the same thing. He's framing his team to get the best out of them per year. So this year, he's like, guys, Russell Wilson, it's your team. Take us to the promised land. So I love that about Pete Carroll. Yeah. And I believe Carlos Hyde, in this offense with Russell Wilson throwing the ball around the playing field, Carlos Hyde ain't got a choice but to get work.
Exactly.
Because he's going to have a lot of light boxes.
Yeah. And I mean, this year, you know, everybody is already talking about Russell Wilson as a early MVP candidate. And he's definitely playing like it. I mean, he could very well potentially throw for a floor of 4 touchdowns a game. At this pace he's going, 50 touchdowns is not out of the realm of possibility for Russell Wilson. So you look at a lot of it, if you go back and look at tape and look at the previous years, Carson has finished within the top 15 of backs the past few years. So if something were to happen to where he misses a lot of time, like I said, we don't know the severity of the injury right now, but we're just trying to throw out things. But the main thing is you got to buy into systems. If you got a system that works, whether they plug and play, whether it be tight ends, running backs, receivers, whatever the case may be, if someone goes down, the next man up comes and they can be successful. Seattle's got that. So it definitely, you know, like I said, the way Russell Wilson's playing, DK Metcalf, Lockett, Carlos Hyde, he's a valuable asset. So, and even if you are one of those where you a league where it's like a fab budget, because you know a lot of people play on waiver wire priorities. So you just put in a bid or whatever, and the person that has the highest number will get them. But if you got like fab budget where you got to spend a certain amount, I would say percentage-wise, Carlos Hyde, you're probably looking at maybe like 30 to 35% I would spend on it, out of whatever your budget is. So if it's like $100 budget, I'd spend about 35% of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, guys, Travis Homer is there, and I'm not saying he's a starter, but I think he would get a lot of the pass work. I think Carlos Hyde is decent in the pass game, but I think Travis Homer would get some pass work, kind of like C.J. Prosise was to them last year. Right. So you have to be. It's up to you. It's like Jared McKinnon and Jeff Wilson. Who do you play? So, I mean, maybe Travis Homer could be like a DFS play,
right?
Because he could get a good long passing touchdown because everybody thinking about Lockett and Metcalf,
True.
or Disley or Olsen. So I also like Homer just for a sleeper. Not saying that I would go and spend any fat budget, but once if I didn't fit it on Carlos Hyde, get Travis Homer and play him. If you 3-0, you don't have anything to lose, but you might have something there. Because I like the way they use Travis Homer.
Yeah,
he's not a bad back.
No, that's a great idea, man. Because to be honest, Pete Carroll is one of those coaches. He's going to do whatever.
Competition.
Exactly.
So if whoever wins in the week,
right.
That's why I love Pete Carroll again, guys.
Yeah. So he's going to go with the hot hand, so to speak. So it depends on what Hyde shows him. If Hyde doesn't show him what he needs, within that offense to make it successful, then hey, go with the next man up. So if you do, just like TD said, if you miss out on Hyde, Homer would be a great asset, somebody to look at on the back end of your waivers. Because you could hit the lottery with him. We don't know. We don't know how his backfield's going to play out. We can only assume, and from what the reason why they brought him in, because when Carson had that hip injury and everything, that's the whole reason they brought Carlos Hyde in as insurance, and because Rashad Penny is still on IR right now, so they needed some type of insurance. So
yeah, Carlos Hyde actually rushed for 1,000 yards in the Houston's offense last year.
Exactly.
That's hard to do with Bill, Brian.
Exactly, and then this Seattle offense is, in my opinion, twice as good as Houston.
Yes.
So he'd be definitely a great pickup.
I agree.